2 upcoming live offerings I want to whisper in your ear. November, Northern Thailand, the heart practices. It's a beautiful 7-night retreat exploring yoga, meditation, temples, the best food in Thailand, and the Brahma Viharas, the heart practices that the Buddha offered to help us incrementally expand the heart. And then in February, the Mindfulish School, 200-hour yoga teacher training. So if you want to come and study with me, this is actually a beautiful training. It's a hybrid, partially online, and then we meet in Bali for 2 weeks. So the best of both worlds. And you, after this class, check out the links below and reach out if you are interested. We're already half full for both, so do it quick. Hello, welcome, namaste. My name's Cole. If you haven't practiced with me before, then hello, thanks for being here. And I was pulling a card in my deck, and today I pulled, it's called Shadows of Light, the deck, I know that you'll ask, integrity. And integrity, my working definition of integrity, very similar to authenticity, I think. Being that our insides, or maybe the definition of authenticity that I'll use is that our insides, my inner world, matches the way that I express myself in the outer world. That being being able to be authentic. And then my ability to continue to be authentic over time is integrity. So that I consistently show up in both realms, inside and outside, as myself, and then other people also, in my relationships as well, so other people also see that of me, that I do what I say I'm going to do, that there's a sense of reliability. And this leaves room for flexibility in sense of self, because I have many different parts and moods that come out, but there is a way that I show up in the world that I can count on, and that I hope that others can too. And this kind of guides my life in a way. This is kind of where values and principles live. And again, I think it's very important that we stay flexible to update these. And then our inner, the way that we have our self-perspective, our self-view of how we view ourselves, it's very important that we maintain this authenticity and integrity as well, because that forms the way that we see ourselves. And I came across this quote from my friend Cheyenne, who may love quotes as much as I do. This is by 𝙎𝙪𝙥𝙚, and she says, "You do not become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are." You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. I think that's really beautiful. So that really requires an inner curiosity, because we do change, we do shift, but an inner curiosity to stay updated with who am I? Authenticity, and then continuing to show up from that place. Integrity. So in our practice today, I'm just going to move in some patterns, and we're going to move consistently, and I want you to move like you. So I'll give suggestions, but I want you to be authentic and move the way that your body would have you move. Move the way that authenticity would have you move. So you can shift and scribble outside the lines as much as you'd like. And to begin, find stillness in your seat. Take a few deep rounds of breath. Flood the body with an inhale and then pour it out on an exhale. And it's this reciprocity between pulling inside our inner world and then sending it out, an expression that is what consists of our authenticity. Can it match? Is it threaded? And can we continue to show up over time? Hands together. Big inhale, Care Bear stare style. Broaden the collarbone, suction through the palms, open the throat, arc the back. Big hug, left arm over right, curl in. Sway the spine. Let this feel jello-esque. And then inhale, coming up, open wide again, slow. Use the whole inhale, and then right arm over left. Same thing, pour forward. Full round of breath, feeling in here. Big inhale, open up wide. Left arm over right, eagle arms. Everything that's touching is pulling in. So if you're wrapping and squeezing in, maybe you're grabbing opposite shoulders, your choice. Let's move with breath, cat, cow in the spine, about 3-4 times. Inhale, you lift up, arc the back. And exhale, kind of scoop the tailbone, belly to spine, chin to chest. Couple more rounds. Big inhale, cactus the arms, suction through the palms like you could breathe through the inside of the palms. And then the hands go behind, maybe to the fingertips, and just broaden the heart. Roll the shoulders back. Plume the heart forward like the back of the body could puff up the front of the body. And release, hands to heart center. Inhale, open the heart, suction through the palms. We'll switch sides here. So right arm on top, or your other arm. And then take whatever wrap you'd like and move with your breath, cat, cow. Move slow, find nuance. Inhale, cactus the arms. Inhale through the hands, through the palms, and then the hands slowly sprinkle down. Fingers find the ground, roll the shoulders back, puff up the front of the heart. And release. Tabletop position. Find some movement in the hips, in the shoulders. And then inhale the left leg back and the right arm up. And find some this is a different use of the word integrity. Find some integrity in the core. So some engagement, some strength, which kind of makes sense here. So maybe it's not a completely different term, but some strength woven into the ribs, the torso. So it's not just anything goes. You're like, no, you know who you are. The ribs are engaged here. And you can kind of take a look. So this being like a big banana back here, and if I were to bring some integrity or some engagement, I would kind of knit the low ribs together just slightly. I would pull up on the hip bones just slightly and just staying strong here. Lift through the inner thigh. And then exhale, knee to nose, push the ground away and curl in. So we'll move slow and strong. Inhale, reach, and then watch that banana in the back. Let's see if you can keep some strength there, and then push, exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, reach. This time the leg stays up and the right arm comes down. All right, the left toes are gonna come off the right side of the mat. Gaze over the right shoulder and then walk the hands to the right. So now we are getting like a big banana on the left side body. So I think we kind of use that integrity, like integrity of a foundation, like a sturdy foundation, which would be the same as like the character of a person, like a solid integrity of knowing do what you say you're going to do, showing up in a way that is authentic to self. All right, hands come back, shoulders under wrist, and we're gonna make a little vinyasa here, which just means movement with breath. On an inhale, this will be an inhale. You can kind of push into the hands if you'd like, get long. And then an exhale, the left knee is gonna curl up towards the left elbow. Kiss it. And then a big slow step back. Press into the hands, maybe even the hips come down to the heel. And then exhale, knee to elbow, and then move with your breath here. We'll do this a couple times. You can continue to look over the shoulder. Oof, let it feel good. Shift forward, knee to elbow. Once more. Big step. Left foot outside the left hand and sway the hips down and around, lizard pose. The arms are on the inside. And now move in a way that's authentic to you. Maybe you find stillness. Maybe this is real Jello-esque, or maybe you find a really strong pose here. It feels good in the body. Couple more rounds of breath. And then the right hand plants, the left hand comes to the knee. Take a twist. Roll the shoulders back and spiral the ribs around the spine. The hips can sink low or they can stay high, your choice. And when you're ready, you can begin to bend the back leg, and if it feels authentic to your practice, you can grab the back foot. I like to come out a little bit, so bring the hips up, find some strength, push into the left foot, and maybe bring the hips all the way back to the heel, possibly. And then we're gonna move into sage pose. So what that's gonna look like is we're going to rotate towards the right, and then maybe the left hand lets the right foot kind of lays it down, yeah? So I'll just show that transition again. So we're in that twist, and you begin to spiral towards the right, turn towards the right, but maybe you tuck that bent leg down, sage pose. Walk the hands forward. You can find stillness here, bending forward. Maybe the head just sinks, or find some sway. Some figure eight, some swirl, some swerve. So kind of shifting in between a little bit of this kind of playfulness and sway, and then some few strong poses in the middle, in the midst of. All right, shifting to the back of the mat. The right hand plants, and you can move yourself however you'd like, and then a big like gate variation here. Left sole of the foot comes all the way down in a big long line of energy from the left foot all the way through the left fingertips. And you can stay here in a really strong and long pose, or you can bend the standing leg just slightly, the left leg. And then maybe you lift the right knee up just for a little play. Find some buoyancy. And then we come into plank pose, the back of the mat. 3 rounds of breath, strong here. Pushing down through the hands, slight lift on the inside of the palm. Roll the shoulders back, and the heart shines forward as the heels shoot back. Belly pulls slightly towards the back of the spine. And then a slow dropping of the knees, the chest, and the chin. Ashtangasana. Untuck the toes, unfurl however you like. Maybe you ripple the spine. Child's pose. 3 rounds of breath. Leave the shins where they are and press down. And you're gonna roll up. The hips stay at the heels. The hands slowly graze back. And then slowly cactus the arms, suction up through the palms. Open the heart. And then the hands come behind. And just puff up the heart. You're welcome to lift the hips here if you'd like a camel variation. And then release. Tabletop. Wiggle about, and we'll switch sides. All right, left leg out, left arm out, right leg out. Lift to the right inner thigh, and then notice what happens with the back, with the ribs. Engage the low ribs, like you can knit them together. And you can also kind of think a little bit about like the low ribs and the hip creases pulling together. Now let's move with breath. So we're gonna curl in, push through the right hand, puff up the back of the heart, and then lengthen. Twice more like this. Slow it down. Creating a strong pattern here. Once more. This time the leg stays up and the left hand comes down. Take the right foot over the left side and then gaze back at the foot, and you can push into the hands. Let this feel good. And then maybe walk the hands both over towards the left. Big side body stretch. Big deliciousness here. Then leaving the leg where it is, the hands can come back around. Shoulders don't need to be stacked, they can be pushed back. We move with breath. This is an inhale. Exhale, you shift forward to the shoulders, R over the wrist. Tap the knee towards the shoulder or the elbow. Inhale, glide back. Exhale, tap. Slow it down. Inhale. Once more. Big step outside the hands. About 3 rounds of breath in lizard pose. Explore this shape in your body. Left hand plants, right hand to the knee. Begin to take a twist and see if you can come up out of the hips a little bit. So maintaining some strength and integrity in the hips, pressing down through the front foot rather than dumping into the hips. Spiral around the spine. Slight bend in both elbows, like a little bit of like cactus energy. And then maybe bending the back leg, grabbing for the foot. It can be nice to tap the heel and the glute together and then maybe come forward from that space. I also like to kick the foot over into the hand as well, the side of the foot, and the hand back into the foot. It's just another point of connection that can be interesting to explore. And then one more inhale here, plume up the front of the heart. Then we're moving into sage pose. So you'll twist towards the left, but you can lay the foot down into sage pose. Maybe that feels fluid, maybe it doesn't. However you'd like to get there, sage pose. And your choice here, you can stay upright, you can come forward or find sway. We move towards the back of the mat. The left hand plants, gate variation. Long line of energy. The fingers to the foot. And your choice, if you'd like to take this little side plank variation, then get a little archy on the right side body. Bend the right knee so you can get the whole sole of the foot on the ground, and then lift the left leg up. Big rainbow action on the right side body, and then twist around to plank pose. 3 rounds of breath, sturdy, staying. Soft drip of the knees and the chest. Maybe rippling into Ashtangasana. Child's pose. 3 rounds of breath. Slowly rolling up the hands, drag back. So your choice here, if you'd like to take camel, you can, or you can just open the heart, suction through the palms. You can keep the hips to the heels, or you can lengthen up and come down for camel if you'd like. Maybe bringing the hands behind the sacrum or the heels. My back's a little tender today, so it would not be authentic of me to do that. When we find ourselves in tabletop, take a wiggle. So we'll go through this a little bit quicker, just to kind of feel the flow of it. And to begin, inhale, lift the left leg and bring it off the right side of the mat. Kind of push into the hands. This is an inhale. And an exhale, knee to elbow. Move slow. Inhale back. Get long. And exhale. Once more. And exhale. This time a big step through. Left hand. Maybe walk the hands forward. Have this little slither of a lizard pose for a couple moments. And then coming right into sage pose. This time sitting back on the heel, hands to heart, sage pose. Outer spiral with the left thigh, just feeling here. Right hand to the back of the mat. Lengthen the left leg long. Big side body extension. And your choice, if you'd like to lift the right knee, then lift it up. Many different variations. You could take a figure 4 if you'd like, or wrap the leg around. And then we find our way into plank pose. 3 rounds of breath. Softly drip the knees down, but not all the way, and then send the booty up and back. Downward facing dog. Leave the arms really, really long here, and then drip the knees all the way down until you find child's pose. Untuck the toes. Slide all the way up. Unfurl, your choice. You can come up into a camel pose or any variation, cactusing the arms. And find our way into tabletop. Wag the tail, spiral. And we switch sides. Right leg off the left side of the mat, gaze back, get long. Inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow, knee to shoulder. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Exhale, step all the way outside. Few rounds of breath in lizard pose, your choice. Sage pose. Spiral around. Couple rounds of breath. Maybe the thumbs kissing at the heart and the heart kissing back at the thumbs. Link through the spine. And then left hand, top of the mat, get long. And your choice, if you want to take the side plank variation, then first get really archy on the right side body. Whole sole of the right foot comes down and then lift the leg. You can unstack the arm and take any variation. Plank pose. Slow drip down of the knees, hips to heels. You can stay in child's pose or take one more little heart opener here, whether it is cactusing the arm, fingertips brushing behind, or a camel. And then coming to a seat. Palms up in the lap. Steady breath through the body. Really an inquiry to take off the mat today. Not just how do you move on the mat. So exploring authenticity by doing what feels good in your body over what I or anyone else says. And then also taking that inquiry off the mat. How often are you woven between the part of you that's internal and the part of you that is expressed. Likely there is some delineation between that for most people. And it's fine and it's natural. And it's good to be aware of. Where is it safe to soften into who you are? More you, more of you. Let the walls around that, the armor around that fall down. That's really what freedom is, when we can really fully express our true nature in all of its idiosyncrasies and multitudes. It takes a lot of energy to suppress. And freedom is in releasing the need to. Steady breath. Smooth thread from the internal, the bringing it in, and the external, letting it go, expressing it out. Maybe there's no pause in the breath. Maybe it's just a fluid thread. Thank yourself for showing up, carving out the space, carving out the time. Bring the hands together, thumbs at the third eye. In thanks, in gratitude for yourself, for this practice, for those that have came before us, to pass it down. Thank you, 𝙛𝙖𝙫𝙤. I hope you enjoyed this slow wiggle, and that it was of benefit. We'll see you next time on your mat. If you're enjoying these classes, then I want to invite you to my membership service, CCY Studio. This is where we get to explore with longer classes, full-length classes, and we get to investigate not only more into the physical body and longer shavasanas, but also yogic and Buddhist philosophy, and more time to marinate and percolate with all of it. Also just putting up a new asana library, and this has about 10 of the core poses and really intricate ways and investigations to put it not only in your body, but also some teaching tips. So if you're a teacher, this is really valuable as well. So if you're interested, you get a 14-day free trial. You can cancel at any time, and I just encourage you to check it out. I think that it's a beautiful place to go a little bit deeper. So I hope to see you over there. You can find more details in the links below.